Ang lahat ng drama, ang lahat ng tawanan, musika at anong paman. Magkakasama pa rin tayo mga kalamaw. Sa lungkot at ligaya, kami pa rin ang iyong paboritong tambayan. Broadcasting live from TVH Group of Networks. Ang iyong hipilan, ang iyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is koolNews at 6.
Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. This is koolNews at 6. My name is Carlo, and let's get into the headlines for this evening. One of the ushers in Quirino Grandstand assigned to guide the overflowing devotees has to remind them repeatedly to just touch the feet and the cross of Jesus Nazareno, then move along. Maria Ramos Consolacion has to do this as the line for Pahalik begins to build up on the eve of the Translation procession on Wednesday, stretching to hundreds of meters. Upon the turn, some of the faithful could be seen closing their eyes while touching the life-size dark wooden image of Jesus Christ, clad in the maroon vest and carrying a true cross, which depicts the scene when he was en route to the Calvary for his crucifixion. Consolacion has no choice but to interrupt this moment of the devotees. Consolacion can be heard telling the faithful, just touch the image and pray while you walk. As of Wednesday morning, the line of devotees flocking to touch the image and wipe their handkerchiefs, mostly maroon, on it is expected to reach Katibak Drive. Millions believed in Jesus Nazareno's miraculous powers, prompting them to seek for blessing, protection, and good health. Among them are the Carpio family, who has been a Jesus Nazareno devotee for 8 years. Jenny Carpio, 37, swears by the miracle of the Jesus Nazareno, saying the healing powers of the image made her 9-year-old daughter's transplant more manageable. Carpio told Inquirer.net after attending the Pahalik, she used to be at the hospital all the time, but now she is no longer being admitted. We will return here until she goes up, she said of her daughter. Jenny, a logistic officer from Bulacan, is also 7 months pregnant and is asking God for a normal delivery. Her 68-year-old mother Mila is also seeking the image's reputed healing powers to cure her heart ailment. At one point, the Manila Police District said there are a total of 37,000 devotees lining up as of 6 a.m., but was reduced to around 8,300 as of 2 p.m. If they insist on staying to pray, the line might reach Taft Avenue, Consolacion told Inquirer.net in Chess, referring to a road a few kilometers away from the grandstand. The Senator will bless you anyway if your faith is sincere, so just touch the image, she said. First arriving in Manila from Mexico on May 31st, 1606, the original image of Jesus Nazareno was carved from white wood by an unknown sculptor. It was partially destroyed in 1945 during the Battle for Manila in the Second World War. The Republica, which was made by Rio-owned carver General Manlacui, used the image original head, which could not be touched by devotees during the Pahalik. Only one private armed group remains in Central Luzon ahead of the 2025 national and local elections, according to Police Regional Office 3. Interior Secretary John Remula previously told the Central Luzon Regional Police to crack down on thugs because of the polls next May. PRO3 Director Brigadier General Rico Maranan said, "Now we only have one private armed group remaining and we're focusing on it. In the coming days, hopefully it will be neutralized." He gave the information to reporters in an interview at Camp Kamim on Tuesday. Marian noted, "We are also complying with the mandate of our Secretary of the Interior and local government to dismantle all criminal gangs and private armed groups. In fact, in Region 3 this last quarter of 2024, we dismantled 5 criminal gangs," he added. Maranat said PRO3 was particularly focused on Nueva Ecija, deploying 200 additional personnel to secure the province. Furthermore, according to the Central Luzon Top Cop, The regional police recommended 12 municipalities in Nueva Ecija, Bataan, Bulacan, and Pampanga to be declared areas of concern by the Commission on Elections, or shortened as term COMELEC. The PRO3 director did not provide a breakdown of the places endorsed to be tagged under this label. Maranan explained, "We know that Central Luzon has intense political rivalries. There have been violent incidents that have happened in the past elections. That's why now we're focusing on those places." For the areas we recommended for further monitoring, we have added the resources that are there, including personnel and our logistical resources, he continued. PRO3 confiscated 1,346 guns through checkpoint operations and served 266 search warrants from October to December 2024 as part of its efforts against loose firearms leading up to the election. He also reported that the regional police already reassigned cops who are relatives of candidates, although he did not specify how many law enforcers were transferred to other posts. Marana said, "We at PRO3 have placed 24/7 checkpoints. We have planned where to set up the COMELEC checkpoints." The election period begins on Sunday, January 12th. The number of unemployed Filipinos dipped from 1.9 million in October last year to 1.6 million in November as the onset of the holiday season created more jobs, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. This situation translated to a jobless rate of 3.2%, down from the previous record of 3.9%. PSA also claimed that job quality improved in November. During the month, 5.3 million employed individuals sought additional work to augment their income. That was equivalent to an underemployment rate of 10.8%, lower than the 12.6% recorded in October. Underemployment is typically used as an indication of job quality. A lower number means fewer people have to look for additional jobs or work hours because the present employment already provides enough security and pay. And Senator Sherwin Kachilian wants an inquiry into the scheduled increase in the monthly contributions of Social Security System or SSS members from 14 to 50%. In a Kapihan sa Senado forum on Wednesday, Kachilian confirmed to reporters that he intends to file a resolution that would propel an investigation into the SSS issue. While he did not detail the exact date that the measure would be filed, he already disclosed that he intends to file it by next week. To provide context, SSS will collect more from its members from the current 40% contribution rate to 50% this year. The gradual increase was provided for under Republic Act No. 11199, signed by then President Rodrigo Duterte in 2018. According to Kachilian, SSS intends to increase its monthly contributions to collect 51 billion pesos that will be used in its various projects. Kachilian said in a mix of Filipino and English, "So for me, this is a management problem because in any organization, it is important to collect your debt. If you have to sue. If you have to take it to court, take it to court so that you can be paid. Because if you can't get paid, you can't pass it on to increase contributions. If your problem is your management, you can't pass it on to increase contributions. When you don't collect your debt, that is a management problem. Maybe management is slow, maybe management is not taking action, but it is a management problem," he added. Later into the forum, the senator was pressed if he wanted the Senate to investigate the matter, to which he answered in the affirmative. He said he will file a resolution seeking that the Senate panel on banks, financial institutions, and currencies look into the matter. Kachilian specifically noted that he wants to focus on the management side should a Senate investigation begin. Kachilian said in Filipino, "I will focus on the management side. Let's see if their management is efficient, if they are performing well. Let's see if their investments are good and if what they are giving back to their members is also good. Theoretically, the investment should pay for the benefits, so there's no need for an increase," said. But obviously it's lacking. That's why they are increasing their premiums, he added. It is now 6:11 p.m. as we will continue with more news headlines right here on koolNews at 6. Stay along with us. We will be right back.
This program was brought to you by Delsat TV. Enjoy SD and high definition channels when you subscribe to Delsat TV. TLX Karaoke, ang tunay na karaoke ng bayan. B Mulumi Power Race, ang patuka ng masa. Ginuman San Rafael, ganadong mabuhay. Katips Hotdog, amoy na amoy ang sarap. Kids Can Tell. Musicultura Heritage Foundation Center, a museum of all fan-made multimedia and Philippine history. Visit us today at Greenbelt, Makati City from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Musicultura, a non-profit joint venture project of Able Media and TVH Group of Networks Incorporated. And TVH, the home of entertainment. Tutok na sa TVH. Available in high definition via Delsat TV. Bisitahin ang youtube.com/@TVH Network PH para sa inyong paboritong mga highlights at live shows. Something better. Definitely closer. More than just music. Worship is a lifestyle. This January 18, 10 a.m. You're listening to Cool FM.
Number one sa Mega Manila.
Nationwide pa!
Holiday reminder from GCash. Presyong ukay pero branded and brand new? Baka fake online store yan. 90% off ang item pero bayad agad? Baka fake seller yan. Send pamasko to unknown number? Baka social engineering scam yan. Mag-Send Money Protect Scam Insurance for extra protection against scams kaysa hindi insured. Terms and conditions apply. Lahat merry pag G-Safe tayo. Send Money Protect Scam Insurance is powered by Chubb, supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas.
Petron Gasul, Petron Gasul, kasaligan sa kusina, sakto sa timbang. Tung sa True Blue Flame, grabe yun kasulit, gold quality standard, dilig ka maipit. Petron Gasul, maugoy kasaligan, daghang sunod, pero di yun matukngan. Petron Gasul, Petron Gasolista, Petron Gasul, Petron Gasolista, Petron Gasul, Petron Gasolista, Petron Gasul.
Ano mang hiling, kayang tuparin. Everyone achieves the way to comfort living. Adesa, installment made easy, achievable. Adesa, kaya. Adesa.
Brush, 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 3 times a day. Brush, brush, brush to keep cavities away. Brush, 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 3 times a day. Brush with Colgate. Brush, 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 body strong, strong, strong. Brush, 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 body Colgate strong. Brush with Colgate. Brush, 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 body Colgate strong. Brush with Colgate. Going shopping, so many fits to choose. New look, just dab it, trust dab it, shop all out, just dab it, just enjoy vacation, just dab it, trust even go all out, just dab it, just dab it, chill out, just dab it, trust dab it. Wanna party, wanna dine out, wanna dab it, just dab it, vibe out, just dab it, just dab it, live it up with dab it, hang with BDO with dab it.
BDO is regulated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas.
Welcome to Name That Bug That Bygone Can Kill. Our contestant, Miss Judy Ann Santos.
Hello!
Name as many as you can. Go!
Lamok!
Correct!
Ipis!
Correct!
Yung lumilipad na langaw!
Correct!
Yung maraming palasin!
Correct!
Yung nangangain na kahoy na
Correct!
Bygone Shield Protector Multi-Insect Killer kills 11 types of bugs to ease your worries when it comes to unwanted insects. Bygone, zero tolerance against insects.
Ang numero 1 kailangan sa ngayon, extra strong ka dapat para di ka mawasak ng anumang hamong ibigay sa'yo. Ang hanap ng Red Horse Beer, extra strong na tulad mo. Lakas. Tama. Kayang tumindig at harapin ang mga pagsubok na parating. Panatag ang loob na bukas na namnamin mo ang iyong tagumpay. Lakas ng tama pero di wasak sa hamon ng bukas.
Red Horse Extra Strong, the number 1 extra strong beer in the world.
Drink responsibly.
Ang new Biogesic for Kids, di na kailangan ni shake. Syrup formula na. Para pag may lagnat ang anak, buhat agad, inom agad. New New Biogesic for Kids. Mas pinagaling, magpagaling versus previous formulation.
Unilab yan.
Paracetamol is the generic name of Biogesic. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
May bagong energy na! Pinakabago, pinakamainam na Enervon, Enervon Z+. Pinalakas ng zinc, vitamin C, vitamins B1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 12, at vitamin E. Pinakabago, pinakamainam na Enervon. Hey! Enervon Z+.
Unilab yan.
Multivitamins plus zinc is the generic name of Enervon Z+. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Kamote! Kamote naman. Try mo to. Ha? Ang mura naman!
Dito ka na. Sa mapapamura ka talaga. Move it. Discarding tapat.
Madalas mapasok kapag niluluto para sa pamilya? Basta may paso o burn, United Home Burn Ointment agad.
Unilab yan.
Benzocaine, boric acid, and eucalyptus is the generic name of United Home Burn. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Coco Martin po, para sa next generation Toyota Tamaraw. Tulad ko, ang bagong Tamaraw, iba't iba ang mga karakter. Bida sa pamilya, sa negosyo, sa adventure. Iba-ibang forma para sa iba't ibang pangangailangan. Angat sa diskarte, may maaasahang lakas at tibay pa. Kaya dito na tayo sa bagong Tamaraw. Kasama natin sa ating mga panalo sa buhay. Abante, posible sa next generation Toyota Tamaraw.
Handa ka na umabante? Posible! Punta na sa Toyota dealer to reserve the Tamaraw of your dreams. Starts at 937,000 for the 2.4 drop-side diesel manual transmission long wheelbase.
Your partner is also my partner.
What?
Yes! Iisa lang ang partner ng sambahayan. Partner ni kuya, partner ni ate, maging si nanay at tatay, si lolo at si lola. Iisa lang ang partner nila. Ang partner na sa amoy pa lang, ganadong-ganado ka na. Ang partner na nagbibigay ng ginhawa. Ito ang Mark Choco Mix 9-in-1 plus 1 chocolate drink with stevia. Ang dahilan kung bakit partner ng sambahayan dahil sa taglay nitong sarap at sustansya. Ito ay naglalaman ng iba't ibang klase ng herbal tulad ng Goto Cola, Acai Berry, Spirulina, Chlorella at iba pang sangkap na makakatulong sa kalusugan ng ating katawan. Ang partner ng sambahayan, Mark Choco Mix 9-in-1 plus 1 chocolate drink with stevia. Mabibili na dyan lang sa mga groceries, supermarkets, sari-sari store, maging sa mga butika at drugstores dito sa inyong lugar.
Welcome back to Cool News at 6. Let's continue with our headlines. As we kick off with international headlines, Panama said on Tuesday that the sovereignty of its interoceanic canal was non-negotiable after U.S. President-elect Donald Trump refused to rule out military action to regain control. The sovereignty of our canal is non-negotiable and is part of the history of struggle, Foreign Minister Javier Martinez Acha said, noting that President Jose Raul Molinos had made his stance clear. Meanwhile, Donald Trump threatened military action to secure the Panama Canal and economic force against neighboring Canada in meandering remarks Tuesday that drew firm and frosty response from the two U.S. allies. Speaking after Congress certified his election victory, the Republican president-elect gathered reporters at his home in southern Florida to announce a $20 billion Emirati investment in U.S. technology. But his remarks quickly became a rally-style rant as he returned to outline two familiar campaign themes. Trump said as he set out his agenda for the coming 4 years. Since we won the election, the whole perception of the whole world is different. People from other countries have called me. They said, thank you, thank you. The billionaire announced he was going to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America and join the U.S. sordid neighbor again with massive troops if it does not halt illegal border crossings. He refused to rule out using military force to seize Greenland and the Panama Canal, both of which he has long convicted, criticizing recently deceased Jimmy Carter for permitting a handover to local control of the Central American waterway when he was president. Asked if he would use military force to bring Canada to heel, the incoming president said no, economic force, but added that eliminating the artificially drawn U.S.-Canada border would be a boon to national security. As with many of Trump's pronouncements, it was difficult to separate humor or bombast from genuine policy, but the remarks will be seen as an escalation of his erratic on territorial expansion and drew a dismissive response from across the border. There is a snowball chance in hell that Canada will merge with the United States, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau responded. Panama's Foreign Minister Javier Martinez Achcha meanwhile said the sovereignty of our canal is not negotiable. Addressing a claim by Trump that Chinese soldiers operate the waterway connecting the Atlantic and Pacific, the minister said the only hands operating the canal are Panamanian, and that is how it is going to stay. Built by the United States, the Panama Canal was handed to the Central American country a quarter century ago, and President Jose Raul Molino has refused to entertain negotiations over its control. Trump said, look, the Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China. And we gave the Panama Canal to Panama, and we didn't give it to China. And they have abused it. They have abused that gift. Trump has also ruffled European feathers with a separate territorial proposal to buy Greenland, an island abutting the emerging Arctic geopolitical battleground that a former real estate developer sees as important to U.S. security. Trump's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., arrived on the island shortly before his father's remarks for what was described as a personal visit with no official meetings scheduled. Denmark, which Greenland is an autonomous territory of, is a U.S. ally and a fellow member of NATO, another target of Trump's ear as he demanded that nations in the Western alliance boost their defense spending. Trump said, Europe is in for a tiny fraction of the money that we're in. We have a thing called the ocean in between us, right? Why are we in billions and billions of dollars more money than Europe? Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen told broadcaster TV2 she didn't have the fantasy Trump's plans for Greenland would ever get off the ground. In his foreign policy-focused speech, Trump also hampered President Joe Biden over the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan and the conflicts in Ukraine and Syria, repeating a previous false claim that China had no wars during the first Trump term. The president-elect, who spent much of the news conference focused on Biden, also hampered the White House over the 2025 transition, claiming that officials were trying everything they can to make it more difficult. Trump, who returns to the White House on January 20, has not acknowledged his 2020 defeat and refused to participate in the transfer of power to Biden. He basically accused his rival of being behind the multiple legal challenges he faces and vowed to overturn the Democrats' executive order banning offshore oil and gas development of swatches of U.S. coastline. Later that evening, he posted internet memes showing Canada as part of the United States. As we head over to showbiz now, following Nikki Glaser's historic stunt as the first ever solo female host of the 2025 Golden Globes, The awarding body's producers are already planning to bring back the female comedian for next year's ceremony. Executive producer Gillian Wesses told Variety, "We absolutely had a great experience with her and think that she would be great at this in the long term." Wiss stressed that although nothing has been set in stone, the future looks promising for Glaser. He said, I can't talk officially about anything. I will say as someone who produces and directs award shows, she really found her niche here, and I think it really worked out beautifully on this show, and I would love to see it continue." Glaser, who reportedly received $400,000 for her hosting stunt this year, hinted at her return for the 2026 Golden Globes. Glaser shared in a recent interview with Howard Stern, "There was a past host who said how much he got paid in this monologue and I got less than that, but that's okay. I'll get more next year. I feel well paid for what I do. I am alright." Glaser, who was nominated this year for her stand-up comedy special Someday You Will Die, earned reviews for her Golden Globes monologue. The 40-year-old female comedian found the balance between being funny but not too offensive, with critics labeling her hosting as a redeemer from Joe Coy's controversial hosting stunt in 2024 and hailing her as the best host since Ricky Gervais. Meanwhile, the 82nd Golden Globes drew more than 10 million TV viewers, according to Paramount, representing a 7% increase from last year's ceremony, which recorded 9.4 million viewership. And finally, in the radio world, Daniel Michaelton, aka Dan TTM, one of the biggest content creators on YouTube with more than 29 million subscribers, is joining Classic FM. I'm not sure which country, but it's most likely from UK. The megastar YouTuber and gamer will host Next Level with Dan TTM, a video game music series launching on Saturday at 9 p.m. In the first episode, Dan will celebrate legendary soundtracks including The Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy VII, and one of his favorite games, Minecraft. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 2 minutes before 6:30 p.m. and that brings us to the end of koolNews at 6. As always, thank you very much for joining us for the latest headlines that you need to know right here. If you have any new suggestions or feedback you'd like to share, you can get in touch with us through our email at tvhphilippines.news@gmail.com. Until then, my name is Caro, and coming up next on Cool FM is Asker's Cafe. Good evening.